Are you feeling unhappy? Or do you ever feel like life is moving for everyone else but you? You feel like you are stuck in one place, like you are doing everything, all the right things, by the way, but nothing, absolutely nothing seems to be happening for you. If you have ever asked the question, God, when will it be my turn? This two-part series is for you. Let's uncover together the real reason why you feel unhappy. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the CEO podcast. This is where we talk about God, encouragement, and faith. I am your host, Tosin Ayodele, and today we're kicking off a two-part series on something that, let's be honest, we all have struggled with at some point, and that is comparison. So the title of this episode is This is Why You Are Unhappy. Part 1. You know exactly what I mean, right? You're scrolling through social media. The pressure is real. You're seeing your friends hit major milestones, achieving success here, success there. And suddenly, out of nowhere, you feel like you're behind. It happens before you even realize it. It just sneaks up on you like that. But here is the big question. Is using someone else's progress as your own yardstick for growth really helping you, or is it hurting you? Let's talk about it. Why do we even compare? See, comparison isn't a new problem. It didn't start today. It did start with social media, and trust me, it will not end there. In fact, the Bible gives us a very clear example of how dangerous comparison can be. Remember Cain and Abel, the twins? Yes, in Genesis 4. Yes. Cain compared his offering to Abel's offering. And instead of looking inwards and improving himself, he let envy consume him, so much so that it led to an unforgettable result. It led to tragedy. Here is the lesson. Comparison breeds resentment, and resentment breeds destruction. Think about it now. When you measure your growth against your friend's growth, you're setting off yourself for undue and unnecessary pressure. God never called you and I to run someone else's race. No, He called us to run our race. He called you to run your race. So what is the trap of measuring growth by someone else's timeline? What does it look like? Let's come and make it personal for a minute here. Have you ever felt like, God, when will it be my turn? See, I've asked those questions too. I'm working hard. I'm doing all the right things, but it feels like nothing, absolutely nothing is moving. In fact, in some cases, it is regressing. Why does it seem like everyone else is succeeding except me? Those are questions that you've asked yourself at some point. I've asked myself at some point, and I hear you. But can I just remind you of something powerful? Your timeline, your clock is in God's hands. Look at Moses and Joshua, for example. Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, and Joshua led the Israelites into the promised land. Different callings, different seasons, but both played a vital role in God's ultimate plan. What if Moses had spent all his time wishing he was Joshua, wishing he could enter into the promised land? Or what if Joshua had been frustrated? Oh, it was Moses that did all the big miracles first. See, this is it. God has a unique plan for you. For you. And comparing yourself to someone else will only blind you from seeing what God is doing in your life right now and what He plans to do even in your life in the future. So I want to give you some practical steps to overcoming comparison because we all need it. This is the first step of how you break free from the toxic cycle of comparison. Shift your focus. Can you say that with me? Shift your focus. Instead of watching others, instead of fixating on what they're doing, how about you fix your eyes on Jesus? Hebrews 12 verses 2 is a very, very good scripture to introduce at this point. It says, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and the perfecter of faith, who for the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross. He despised the shame of that cross, and right now is seated at the right hand of the Father. See, your growth isn't measured by the pace of anyone else. It is measured by God's purpose for you. What is the number 2 step? You want to celebrate others. When you genuinely celebrate your friends or your family's wins, it shifts your mindset from competition to gratitude and then possibilities. The God that did this can do it for me. And then the third step is that you need to remember that God's timing is perfect. God's timing is perfect. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. Delay is not denial. So I want you to take that as your mindset going forward. And will you do this for me as we bring this episode to a close? I want to hear from you. If you have ever struggled with comparison, or how do you remind yourself to stay in your lane? Yes, though, stay in your lane is a thing. I want you to drop a comment or send me a message, send me a DM, or even share this episode with someone who you feel it would be an encouragement to. And most of all, don't miss part 2. This is where we'll talk about how to find contentment in your own journey and how to trust God's timing as it changes everything. Until I see you next week, stay encouraged. Stay in your lane. What did I say? Stay in your lane. And remember this, God's got you. God has got you. I'll see you next week with another inspiring and insightful episode that will do you a world of good. God bless you. Bye-bye.